Now, the two most common needs most of your prospects have, and these are also the two most ineffective needs human beings have, is certainty and significance. Most people are driven by always feeling certain, right? They always want to feel certain about themselves. And they're also driven by significance. They always want to feel significant. And so regardless of what you're selling, the key is, I'm not here to change somebody's needs. It is not your job to change the 6 human needs. And again, the 6 human needs is something you understand. It's not something you say to somebody. But when I understand what somebody needs, and when I can tell based on their languaging, right? Because I hear what they're telling me in logical certainty, in the first half of emotional certainty. It makes it a hell of a lot easier in the bottom half of emotional certainty, where I'm creating the emotional gap. It makes it much easier to understand what this person is allowed to do. And so if you go through the WAP, for example, you'll see like 5, 6 of my sales calls. And what you'll notice in all of them, the questions are all the same, but the gap I build in emotional certainty is very different. And it's all based on their needs. Because one of the people is driven by love and connection, while the other one is driven by certainty in his skill set. One of them is driven by they want to feel certain in their skill set. The other individual is like, I want to feel love and connection. When you really understand what people need, it makes it easier. And so for many of you, when I get asked the question of like, how do I sell sophisticated buyers, or how do I sell people that already have money? It's not a question of how do you sell people that already have money. They just have a different need, right? So let's say there's somebody that's making 400 grand a year and you're trying to sell them getting into, let's say, trading. They already have certainty. So you trying to give them more certainty is not maybe how they want to do it, but let's pretend they already have certainty, but their biggest thing is they've always wanted to be their own owner because they don't want to have to work under somebody. Maybe significance is one of their big needs. And maybe the other part of it is like, they're like, you know what, dude, I really have a lot of big goals in my life. And one of my goals in my life is, you know, I make 400 grand a year in this corporate job, but I really want to be able to contribute to charity, and like, I want to be able to build a foundation for myself at my church or wherever it is. And I can't really do that, dude, because right now I'm capped at a job. Then they're driven by contribution. People are driven by different things. And when you understand what somebody's driven by, you know how to influence them.